All right, let's go into week number 18, the last week before the playoffs. Let's start with Tampa at Atlanta. It's a 3-point spread. Tampa Bay is favored. 41 over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
Yeah, so let me say this too. We're running on the assumption all these games are being played this week. Nothing has, no announcements have come out to say anything otherwise. Looks like the Bills game will get rescheduled to I don't know when, maybe after this week. I thought they would just push everything back 1 week. Have the Bills play this weekend and just push everything back a week. I don't know. But assuming we do have the week 18 this week.
Wait, you would rather see them move all 16 games 1 week to make up for the Bills-Bengals game?
Well, I know they can't do that, right? You got ticket sales and all that, revenue and stuff. But I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to squeeze the Bills game back in.
That is for them to figure it out because they can't do that without taking away their advantage, right? So basically, if you try to squeeze into that game, then you don't have enough time to prepare for the next game.
Mm-hmm. So you think they don't play at all? They have to play.
Well, they have to play this game. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
Because after this week, the playoffs start, and they're definitely not going to push that back. Someone mentioned on Twitter that there's 1 week between the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. Mm-hmm. But then what does that mean? That we don't start the playoffs in time? So we wait for the Bengals-Cincinnati game?
No. Yeah.
The Bills-Bengals game? I don't think they're going to do that. So
yeah.
This is like the show must go on and two of the most important players are not in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do. This is, I don't want to be working for the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Because this is what's the fuck?
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm going to, roll with the assumption that we're playing. Tampa, like I said earlier, has nothing to really play for here. But I still think they are going to want to go in and win. They don't want to go into the playoffs losing. So I got Tampa winning convincingly, but not going too crazy in terms of points. I got 21-7 Tampa winning.
Yeah, I think Tampa win this game 28-10. I think that they try out new plays and see what works, what doesn't. I see this game as like an exercise game, but then, like you mentioned, you also don't want to lose this game, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they even have the starters out going into the fourth quarter this game, regardless of the score. Because I don't think, now that you clinch, you don't want to risk injury at this late stage of the game. So I get the sense they'll pull, especially like the older vets, people like Evans, Brady.
Basically all the stars, right? Yeah. All the stars that need extra rest. Mm-hmm. So they'll pull them out. New England at Buffalo. I found the spread. It's 7.5 points. Buffalo's favorite. It's 42 over and under. Ron, what's your final score?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I'm a little concerned here. I don't know what to expect from Buffalo if we play this week. After everything that went down yesterday, what the heck's going to happen with Buffalo, when they come out? I wrote down, Buffalo winning 27-17. But I don't know if, Buffalo mentally is going to be in it. And depending on, what happens with the schedule, if they're going to play all their players the full game and really go out and try to win. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
I was in the same boat. I was like, is Buffalo even practicing this week? I don't even know.
No, right now, half the team, from what I understand, is still in Cincinnati, and then some players may have flown back.
Yeah, so, and this is, New England has to be the luckiest team because against Miami, they lost their backup momentarily, or for the game, I don't know. And then this happens to Buffalo, but even with all this chaos going on, I still see Buffalo winning this game 35-21. I think that, yes, the defense is going to let up, but not enough. I think Josh Allen comes through in the end and he takes it upon himself. And I do feel that even though this horrific thing happened, a team can come closer around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A team can bond and say, you know what? Let's dedicate this season to Hamlin. So it just depends on how fast you can put it together.
Yeah.
And I think that assuming that there's no break in between, I think that Buffalo can pull this one out. Even though all this tragic stuff happened, I think they can pull it out. And this is what I mentioned to you earlier was we know Matt Patricia is not coming back. The rumor is that he will have a job.
Where?
In New England.
Okay.
But it won't be offensive coordinator. And I already told you that I talked myself into Bill O'Brien. So, hey, even if they get in the playoffs, Matt Patricia is a goner. The next game.
It's so funny what we as fans will convince ourselves, that will happen just for the better of the team, because we don't want to imagine having another season with Matt Patricia or another season with Matt Canada. We just don't want to. Can't imagine it.
Well, you want Matt Canada gone from the Steelers. Matt Patricia is still a valuable person. No, he sucks as an offensive coordinator, but he's a great defensive mind. I just think that Bill Belichick pushed the envelope just too much. Just too much. And he was like, you know what? You're really good on defense. Why don't I put you on offense? And it was an error. It was a mistake. Nothing against Matt Patricia. I think he's, even though he stunk at Detroit, I think he's still a good defense coordinator, but not on offense. So, no, I don't want him gone, but I just don't want him to have the keys to the offense anymore. Just take the keys away.
Okay.
I'll forgive him. If he comes back, he said, yeah, that was a little bit too much. He won't do, but yeah, just take the keys again.
Okay.
Give it to Bill O'Brien. He knows what he's doing. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. 3-point favorite Steelers are 39 over and under. Ron, what's your prediction?
I got the Steelers winning 20-17. I got the Steelers not just winning this game, but I think things landing perfectly with the Patriots loss and the Jets beating Miami with their quarterback situation. I got the Steelers winning to get in the playoffs 20-17. I'm a little worried. Again, we're not scoring a lot of points. What I'm more worried about? Boswell missing kicks. Like, what the heck's going on? I hope this doesn't come down to a make or break field goal, because I have no confidence in our field goal kicker anymore. But I got us winning 20-17 to not just clinch a winning record for Tomlin. Once again, never had a losing season, but more importantly, getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that the Steelers are going to win this one 27-24. I give them a lot of points because right now the Steelers are on a high. I feel like even with the defender Watson playing there, and he had a decent game this past weekend. I think he scored like 3 touchdowns by himself.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a decent game. So they can put up points when they want to, but I still see the Steelers winning this out, even with your kicker having his issues. I still like Steelers better winning against the Cleveland Browns. Okay, let's move on to the upset special, because Detroit at Green Bay, it's 4.5 favorites, 49 points, and you like Detroit, right?
I do. And I shouldn't, because we know Aaron Rodgers owns Detroit, right? But I like this Detroit team. I do. I like watching them play. I love their offense. I love the running backs they have. I love Aiden Hutchinson. Probably rookie of the year on defense. I just think they have a really good team, and I hope for their sake they win because they need to win to get in, and I want to keep seeing them play. So I got them winning 28-14. I don't feel confident in that, but that's my upset special because that's what I want to happen.
I went with Baltimore beating Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 7 points. It's 42.5 over and under. I went with Baltimore 17-14. I know Lamar won't be back, but what happened last night with the game, coupled with this is for the division basically because there was no game last night, so we didn't know what the record is. We didn't know when they're gonna play that game. I just feel like Cincinnati's in the same boat as Buffalo. They're just confused. They don't know what's going on. However, before, or at least at the start of this game, I was looking at Joe Burrows and I was very impressed. He was carving the Buffalo
Where have
defense.
you been?
What do you mean? Where? You defended Tua.
He's top 5 for time out.
Shut it down.
I defended Tua for being a Pro Bowl candidate,
and this is one of them.
When
you would rather take Tua over
the
Burrows?
fan voting. That's what I'm defending Tua for.
Forget about the fan voting.
Right? That's
Burrows
was a top 5 quarterback. There's no doubt about.
He might be a top 2. He was so good.
He is. I mean, we've seen.
No, I'm saying that he's so good that I think Cincinnati might be the AFC team to beat.
Would it be that shocking though? Isn't this what they did last year? Start the year crappy, and then at the end of the year it clicked, and
it would be shocking because you didn't pick them. I didn't pick them.
No, I still think Buffalo is a better team.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the Chiefs, but
the Chiefs might be a better team.
I like what I saw from Cincinnati.
At the end of the day,
6 wins in a row. I mean, they're a streaky team, and I think they are on a streak. And it was unfortunate what happened last night, but it looked like Cincinnati was going to handle business.
Yeah.
And
you can't tell from one series, right? Did Buffalo just have one series as well?
They both had one series, but Burrows went 4-for-4 with a touchdown.
That's what he does. And Josh Allen just can go 4-for-4. I mean,
I'm just telling you.
These 3 teams, right? Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati. They are like, way over the other teams in the AFC.
They're better. That are in the Pro Bowl.
They're better than I talked about the Chargers earlier. Chargers are good, and I don't want to play them, but those teams are still better than the Chargers. But that's who the
Chargers will be playing. One of those 3 teams.
What? Chargers are what, 9-6?
10-6.
10-6. So, who would they end up playing? The
3rd, I think. So they might be playing either Cincy or the Bills
or the Ravens, right?
Or no, Cincy wins all out.
Depending on what happened, I guess.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying is I want to see the Chargers play one of these 3 teams.
Yeah.
And actually come out on top before I'm fully scared of the Chargers.
There's a reason the Bengals got to the Super Bowl last year, right? It wasn't a fluke. They're a good team. Burrow is that good. Having said that, it's still Patrick Mahomes and it's still Josh Allen. What would have happened last year if we didn't have that back and forth like we did with Buffalo and Kansas City? Would Kansas City have had enough the next week and beat Cincinnati? I don't know.